Right ahead on CCX News, a Maple Grove family impacted by Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico. What they're doing to help those affected by the devastation. Plus, a school in Crystal that encourages using the arts to solve real-world problems. That's in today's School Spotlight. And later, the art of possibilities in Robbinsdale. CCX News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. A Maple Grove family is joining the efforts to help those in Puerto Rico hit hard by Hurricane Maria.
Reporter Sonia Goen shows us what they're doing to get supplies to the Caribbean island.
It's been kind of a nightmare.
Monica Ortiz has spent many sleepless nights wondering how her family and friends in Puerto Rico are doing.
My parents are there, my grandparents, all my family's there except for my siblings that live in the U.S.
Maple Grove is a long way from the island. Monica says she feels helpless.
Seeing the videos of the destruction and the flooding and not knowing that your family members are okay.
She was finally able to reach her family a few days ago, and the news was not good.
As you see pictures of ceiling just gone.
2 of her family members lost their homes.
I'm grateful that everyone's alive, right? Because you can't replace anyone's lives, but it's hard to start over.
Monica is not only worried about her family, but everyone else on the island. There is no electricity, and water and food are in short supply.
There's people dying right now. There's children that need emergency medicine.
She's also wondering why it's taking so long for the government to send help.
This is happening in U.S. soil, right? And Puerto Ricans are U.S. citizens, and the help is not getting there the same way as you saw at Harvey.
Monica is also jumping into action. She's part of a group called Coalition of Puerto Ricans in Minnesota. They are collecting donations to send back home.
One of the sites to donate here in the Northwest Metro is CrossFit Twin Cities.
The New Hope Gym will collect items for as long as needed because it's going to take a long time before things return back to normal in Puerto Rico.
The island has been destroyed. It's complete devastation, so it will take years to actually rebuild, and hopefully it'll look back the same way it used to be.
The government says it's been difficult getting supplies to Puerto Rico. Today, President Trump temporarily lifted shipping restrictions to help deliver aid. The Minnesota group says that they will work with their friends on the island to get supplies to those who need it. They're requesting items like diapers, water, and medicine. And Mike and Alex, there are 2 drop-off sites in the Northwest Metro. We've got all that information on our website, ccxmedia.org.
All right, thanks a lot, Sonia. Local families aren't the only ones impacted by the devastation in Puerto Rico. Golden Valley-based Medical Alley Association serves Minnesota's medical device industry. President Shay Mandel says several member companies in the northwestern suburbs, including Medtronic, Abbott Laboratories, Boston Scientific, and Smiths Medical, have facilities in Puerto Rico. Mandel says those facilities do have wind and water damage, but the full extent of the impact is still unclear due to communication issues. So the focus right now is on humanitarian efforts.
So our companies are focused on helping to provide basic needs, identify where their employees, their families are, how they can support the community. And again, today it's a basic needs humanitarian: food, medicine, water, shelter. Where are people?
Medtronic issued a statement saying that they're working with local and global resources to help ensure its Puerto Rican facilities are fully operational as quickly as possible.
Brooklyn Center Police are warning residents after several daytime home burglaries. This map shows where the burglaries recently occurred in the southwestern part of the city. All of them involved homes that weren't occupied at the time, and police are offering a $500 reward for information that leads to an arrest and conviction.
Meanwhile, home values in Brooklyn Center are reaching levels not seen in years. This begins our look inside City Hall. Valued home in Brooklyn Center now stands at $167,000. That is a $17,000 increase over last year. In fact, assessed values in the city have now reached their highest level since 2009. Also, inside City Hall, Plymouth has approved a liquor license for a new restaurant. Asian duck, described as Chinese Thai fusion cuisine, will fill a space that used to be Ketsana's Thai on County Road 24. That's near Rock Elm Tavern. The new restaurant hopes to open by November.
A local city is looking to the future as it plans for an aging population. Maple Grove is getting community input on a 3-year plan to make the city more age-friendly. Using guidelines from the World Health Organization and community feedback, Maple Grove will take the next few months to identify things they can change to make it easier for elderly people to live in the city. Ideas range from working with businesses to make doors easier to open to expanding the Dial-A-Ride bus program's hours so people can get to doctor appointments and church. Officials say these ideas will be tweaks to a city that citizens think is already pretty age-friendly.
They do a great job. The responses of the survey were overwhelmingly that this is a great place to be and I don't want to leave.
Maple Grove hopes to have the plan finished by the end of the year.
Beautiful September weather means a great growing season, and you can see that at the Maple Grove Farmers Market held on Thursdays outside the city's community center. The market runs until mid-October, but our organizers say this time of year is really the most bountiful for vegetables.
People are often really surprised that we are still open through October, but this is really the most abundant time of the year for us at the farmers market. There's a huge array of summertime crops available, as well as all the fall favorites like squash and pumpkin.
The Maple Grove Farmers Market runs from 3 to 6 p.m. on Thursdays until October 19th. Still ahead, we head to one of the area's oldest school locations, which has one of the newest curriculums. That's in School Spotlight.
Plus, Cooper and Armstrong get set to battle in a Robbinsdale district football rivalry.
But first, slightly cooler on Friday. We'll be right back. In Brooklyn Park, cops and kids attempt to prove who's got game.
Well, there's one youngster who brought the house down, but this basketball game Wednesday night between Brooklyn Park Police and area youth is more than just about making a good shot. It's also about building relationships with law enforcement.
We do a lot of events all year long, cops and kids fishing, cops and kids cooking. We have our police athletic league where we engage kids, and this is another extension of that where we find opportunities to connect with our inner city youth.
And I want to make sure to show these kids that it's possible for them too. They can look at me that I walk those same streets, those same adversity that they facing or seeing right now. I was able to overcome some of those things because I stayed focused.
Now, that was former Gopher and pro football player Tyrone Carter who told the kids his story. Kids also got another bonus. They received a free backpack. The schools are often the center of a neighborhood.
In Crystal, there has been a school in the 3900 block of Adair Avenue North for more than 100 years. Now it's the Fair School Crystal. As Shannon Slatton reports in today's School Spotlight, the school draws students from all over the Robbinsdale School District.
Picasso said every child is an artist. The problem is how to remain one once he grows up. Picasso obviously didn't know about the Fair School Crystal, where art is not only a part of the name, but integrated into every facet of a student's education.
I'm really involved in band, choir, and theater, and I've been involved in 2 of the shows here.
I started liking acting in 4th grade because they did my favorite movie, so I was like, I gotta be in this.
Students at Fair School Crystal come from the 7 suburbs served by Robbinsdale area schools. And they will be exposed to more arts here than at a traditional middle school.
Arts are a huge part of it. It's who we are. You know, we want to look at nurturing not just the academics, which is a given in most schools, but it's nurturing the whole child.
Like this exploratory dance class that will cover hip-hop, ballet, and everything in between.
It's my job to teach them sort of choreography and moves, learning how to be on beat, learn rhythm, do something that somebody else is teaching you, but I also like to see what they can do.
Staff members get students to shine in unique and creative ways. It's not just about teaching a concept, but encouraging self-expression.
Not just to have that teacher that's the sage on the stage, but more of a guide on the side.
Often the school relies on partnerships with professional artists to bring the rigor and caliber of the art to the classroom. Theater teacher Reza Brashi works for Stages Theater Company, which is a big partner with the school.
Help them make connections with how this could be used not only in a theater classroom, but also in the world, because that's what theater helped me do.
In the classroom, art is woven into academics in 2 ways. Allison Thielen is the Arts Integration Coordinator.
So each grade level has a specific residency. We bring in community artists, and the focus is different depending on the grade level. So 4th grade does a program called Elders Wisdom Children's Song. We interview elders in the community, and then kids write a song with a local composer and perform it.
5th grade works with stages, theater, and a photographer. 6th is puppetry and a professional storyteller. 7th is photography, and 8th tackles spoken word.
So depending on the grade level, kids get to kind of experience the arts integrated into their classes in a really unique way.
Then in everyday classroom learning, teachers apply what they call visual thinking strategies.
A series of questions we ask to elicit responses to visual art. So it's about visual literacy, it's about learning critical thinking skills.
Critical thinking is at the heart of integrating arts into academics, not only in allowing students creativity to find new ways to learn, but in finding new ways to get answers.
Those kind of 21st century skills are the things that, you know, we need kids to have. We need them to be problem solvers, we need them to be creative, we need them to be critical thinkers. And again, that crosses all content areas.
Fair School Crystal students think outside the box. They bring creativity and passion to their learning in a way that sets them up for success. In Crystal, Shannon Slatton, CCX News.
Fair School Crystal is currently working on a production of James and the Giant Peach. Still ahead, the art of possibilities in Robbinsdale.
The exhibit where obstacles can be overcome. But first, the unbeaten and number 4 ranked Cooper football team gets set to face Armstrong. John Jacobson has a preview next in sports.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. We start the second half of the high school football season this week with some good matchups. The Robbinsdale District 281 teams are having strong seasons, and they'll go head-to-head Friday. Here's Jay Wilcox with more on the unbeaten Cooper Hawks.
Cooper's become a consistent winner in football, and this year's Hawks are dominating. They've moved up to number 4 in the state Class 5A rankings this week and have outscored opponents by an average score of 39-9.
Yeah, I feel really good. I'm really confident about our team. The goal is to go 1-0 every week, and we've accomplished that so far.
I think that we can do a little bit better, as in crisping some fundamental things down, but I think we did pretty good so far.
Included in the 4-0 start, a 44-7 pounding of longtime nemesis Spring Lake Park, the team that handed the Hawks their only 2 losses last fall.
Oh yeah, that was amazing for us. Having beaten those guys in, I think, 8 years or so, or 20 years in total, it was a huge win for us. It was very emotional.
This week, the Hawks meet neighbor Armstrong in a game for bragging rights in the Robbinsdale School District.
I think this year is more quieter than the years before, because I know there was Thomas Barber from Armstrong and Philip Howard, who are both at the University of Minnesota now. But we also have some stars on our team: Ante, Cameron, Terrence, Nathan Hill. So it's just a matter of, I guess, since it's District 281, I think it's just a big rivalry, I guess.
The hard part is these are young men that, when they're in the youth board, they're over here getting coached up by some of our coaches, and our kids were getting coached up by some of their coaches because they're on the ACYFA football team, and we're kind of together, and all of a sudden in 9th grade they got to split off, and we're buddies, and now we got to hate each other. So it makes it tough because a lot of our friends are on the other team, but at the same time I know they're going to prepare for us, and we're going to prepare for them, because at the end of the day it's a game on the schedule that we have to be prepared for.
Cooper's done well narrowing the focus to 1 week at a time. In the big picture, though, this is a team that has a chance to go deep into the playoffs. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
At Armstrong, the Falcons are very young this fall, but they've performed pretty well with a 3-1 record through 4 games. After an opening loss to Chanhassen, the Falcons have rattled off 3 straight wins, beating Spring Lake Park, Hopkins, and Forest Lake. It's a team that is still getting better, but it's been a good start.
Just teamwork. So we have a small amount of seniors on the team, but we're all looking up to each other, and I guess they're growing their experience already. I feel like people said that we had a lack of experience, but over the past 4 games, I feel like they've got their experience.
Armstrong nearly upset Cooper last year, leading most of the way before the Hawks rallied for a 16-14 win. Falcons try to treat this as just another game, but when you know a lot of players on the other team and the schools are so close, it's bound to mean a little more than most games.
I played with a lot of the Cooper players because I played for Cooper in ACYFA. 7th and 8th grade, I played with a lot of them. And I know them pretty well, so I kind of want to win a lot.
You know, we know them well, they know us well. Coach Howard and I get along well, so it's not, you know, what some people get it out to be. But, you know, it does cause a little bit of stress and it gets exciting, so our goal is to try to keep our kids calm. You know, a couple years ago when we had Thomas and those guys, you know, we were just a little wound up going in. Last year I felt like we were a little more relaxed with all the injuries we had and still kind of played well, so we're just trying to keep the kids relaxed, and it's another week, but they know it's a big game.
You can see the Falcons-Hawks game live here on CCX at an early time of 5 p.m. Friday. It's Cooper's homecoming game. There are 4 games on tap tonight, Thursday, with everyone else in the area playing Friday at various times. Tonight at 7, Maple Grove hosts Eden Prairie, the #1 team in Class 6A. Wayzata hosts Lakeville North. Benilde St. Margaret's plays at St. Louis Park, and Brooklyn Center travels to Minneapolis Roosevelt. Friday afternoon at 4, it's Hopkins at Chanhassen in 5 p.m. games. In addition to Armstrong Cooper, Park Center hosts a good Irondale team, and Osseo is home to face Centennial. Friday at 7 o'clock, Champlin Park plays at Blaine. Dotino Grace plays at St. Michael Albertville in the top 10 matchup. Breck is home against St. Anthony. Providence Academy hosts Mount West Tonka, and West Lutheran goes to Sleepy Eye to play St. Mary's in 9-man ball. And that is all for sports. Alex and Mike, back to you.
All right, John, thanks a lot. Coming up next, overcoming challenges through art.
The exhibit that proves almost anything is possible when we come back.
And finally, the Robin Gallery in Robbinsdale is teaming up with Courage Kenny Rehabilitation Institute to showcase local artists.
Remarkably diverse and remarkably high quality. There's such a nice variety. It's a really fun show to look at because in a very small space you see a lot of different styles of work.
The work of 8 artists, all whom have disabilities, is featured in the Art of Possibilities showcase. One watercolor artist says her work is a way to talk out loud. She paints rhinos and elephants which face extinction in her native country of South Africa. And expressing herself this way has become more important than ever.
A little over a year ago, I had a stroke. I used to teach watercolor all the time. What I find hardest to do is to talk. So my teaching is a little harder than it used to be, but I can still paint. The painting is fine.
And the artwork is on display at the Robin Gallery until October 21st. Plenty of time to go over there and check it out.
The painting is better than fine.
Yes,
it's really good.
It's really good. That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
And we'll see you back here again Friday, starting at 4.